Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, grab your phone, and realize it's running low on battery. But instead of searching for a wall outlet, you walk over to your kitchen, open up your compost bin, and, believe it or not, plug your phone into a device powered by last night's potato peels and coffee grounds. Sounds like science fiction, right? But what if I told you that the energy you're tossing out with your kitchen scraps every single day could actually be harnessed to power small electronics, lights, or even help cut down your utility bills? Here's the wild part. This isn't some futuristic fantasy or a billionaire's secret project. The science behind turning food waste into electricity has been around for decades. Yet, for some reason, it's almost never talked about in schools, rarely covered in the news, and definitely not something your power company wants you thinking about. Why is that? Why are we so quick to throw away what could be a free, renewable source of energy, especially when energy prices keep climbing and the world is desperate for sustainable solutions? The truth is, while most people are literally trashing this hidden power source, a small but growing group of DIYers, off-gridders, and science rebels are already tapping into it. They're saving money, gaining independence, and staying one step ahead. So, what's stopping the rest of us? Stick around, because I'm about to show you the step-by-step science and simple DIY methods that can turn your kitchen scraps into real, usable electricity. No PhD required. Every day, millions of households around the world scrape leftovers into the trash or toss wilted veggies into the compost bin, barely giving it a second thought. It's just the way things are done, right? Out of sight, out of mind. But here's the reality. Most of that food waste ends up in landfills, where it rots and releases methane, a greenhouse gas far more potent than carbon dioxide. Meanwhile, we're all hooked up to massive, centralized power grids, paying ever-increasing rates for electricity that's often generated miles away, using fossil fuels that pollute our air and water. Think about it. We're literally throwing away energy every single day, then turning around and buying it back from someone else. The system is designed for convenience, not efficiency. Food waste is treated as garbage, not as the valuable resource it truly is. And the cost isn't just environmental, it's financial too. Households pay for trash collection, landfill management, and rising utility bills, all while ignoring the hidden gold mine sitting right in their kitchens. But what if there was another way? What if, instead of tossing those scraps, you could tap into their untapped potential and generate your own electricity? This isn't some futuristic fantasy or fringe science experiment. There's a simple, overlooked solution that's been quietly powering devices and even homes for decades, one that most people have never even heard of. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really possible. So, how exactly can your kitchen scraps, banana peels, coffee grounds, potato skins, be transformed into electricity? The answer lies in a fascinating, almost magical bit of science called the microbial fuel cell, or MFC for short. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. At its core, a microbial fuel cell is a device that uses the natural power of bacteria to turn organic waste into usable energy. It's like having a microscopic workforce in your kitchen, quietly converting yesterday's leftovers into tomorrow's power. Here's how it works. When you throw food scraps into an MFC, you're actually feeding a colony of special bacteria. These bacteria love to munch on organic matter. Think of them as tiny recyclers. As they break down the food, they release electrons as a byproduct. Normally, in a compost pile or landfill, those electrons would just dissipate into the environment. But in a microbial fuel cell, we capture them. The MFC is designed with two chambers separated by a membrane. In one chamber, the bacteria feast on the scraps and release electrons. These electrons travel through a wire, creating an electric current, before reaching the second chamber, where they combine with oxygen. The result? A steady trickle of electricity, all powered by your kitchen waste. Imagine it like a battery, but instead of chemicals you can't pronounce, it runs on apple cores and carrot tops. The bacteria are the engine, the food, scraps are the fuel, and the electricity is the output. It's a closed-loop system that not only reduces waste, but also generates clean, renewable energy. And here's the kicker. This isn't some newfangled invention. Scientists have known about microbial fuel cells for over a century. In fact, the first experiments date back to the early 1900s. Yet, despite decades of research and proven results, you almost never hear about MFCs in school science classes or on the nightly news. Why is that? Maybe it's because this technology doesn't fit the narrative of big, centralized power plants and billion-dollar energy companies. Maybe it's because it empowers individuals to take control of their own energy needs right at home. Whatever the reason, the science is real and the potential is enormous. And the best part? You don't need a PhD or a fancy lab to get started. In fact, people around the world are already building their own MFCs using simple, everyday materials. In the next section, we'll look at some real-world examples and show you how you can join this quiet revolution. If you think this all sounds too good to be true, you're not alone. Most people have never seen a microbial fuel cell in action, let alone heard of someone using kitchen scraps to power their home. But the truth is, there's a growing community of pioneers, DIYers, scientists, and even entire villages who are already tapping into this hidden energy source. Take, for example, a group of university students in the UK who built a microbial fuel cell system that powered LED lights in their dorm using nothing but cafeteria leftovers. Their project didn't just win awards, it inspired others to try it themselves. In India, some rural communities have adopted MFCs to generate enough electricity to charge phones and run small appliances, all from food waste that would otherwise attract pests or pollute local waterways. These systems are simple, low cost, and life-changing, especially in places where the power grid is unreliable or non-existent. Even in the United States, off-grid enthusiasts and preppers are experimenting with MFCs as a backup power source. They're saving money, reducing their dependence on the grid, and gaining a sense of independence that's hard to put a price on. Meanwhile, the vast majority of people are still tossing out their scraps, completely unaware of the potential sitting right in their trash. So, what's stopping you from joining this energy underground? The technology is proven, the materials are accessible, and the benefits are real. You don't have to wait for some corporation or government agency to bring this to your doorstep. In fact, you can start building your own kitchen scrap generator today. In the next section, I'll walk you through exactly how to do it, step by step. Ready to turn your kitchen scraps into electricity? You don't need a lab coat, a big budget, or a garage full of specialized tools. In fact, you can build a basic microbial fuel cell, MFC, with items you probably already have at home or can pick up for just a few dollars. This isn't just a science experiment, it's a practical, hands-on way to tap into a hidden source of energy that most people overlook. And unlike solar panels or gas generators, this project is cheap, quiet, and endlessly customizable. Let's get started. Here's what you'll need. 2 plastic containers, think yogurt tubs or water bottles, some alligator clip wires, 2 pieces of carbon, pencil leads or charcoal sticks work well, a bit of salt, some cotton or paper towel, and, of course, your kitchen scraps. For the carbon electrodes, avoid anything with metal coatings. Plain, soft pencil leads, or activated charcoal are best. You'll also need a small LED or a multimeter to test your results. Step 1. Prepare your containers. Cut a small hole in each lid, just big enough to fit your electrodes through. These will be your anode and cathode chambers. Fill one container about halfway with a mix of kitchen scraps and water. Banana peels, coffee grounds, veggie trimmings, whatever you have. This is where the bacteria will do their work. In the other container, mix water with a generous pinch of salt. This will help conduct electricity in the cathode chamber. Step 2, make a salt bridge. Twist up a strip of paper towel or cotton, soak it in salty water, and thread it through a straw or just dangle it between the 2 containers. This bridge allows ions to flow between the chambers, completing the circuit without letting the liquids mix too much. Step 3, insert your electrodes. Place one piece of carbon into the kitchen scrap mixture, the anode, and the other into the salty water, the cathode. Make sure the electrodes don't touch each other or the salt bridge directly. Use alligator clips to connect wires to each electrode. Now, connect the wires to your LED or multimeter. Step 4, wait and observe. It can take a few hours to a day for the bacteria to get going, but soon you should see a small voltage reading or a faint glow from your LED. Congratulations! You've just generated electricity from food waste. If you don't see results right away, don't panic. Try adjusting the amount of salt, the type of scraps, or the position of your electrodes. Sometimes a little patience and tinkering are all it takes. Safety first. While this setup is low voltage and safe for most people, always wash your hands after handling kitchen waste and electrodes. Don't use metal electrodes that could corrode or leach harmful substances. And if you notice any strange smells or mold, clean out your containers and start fresh. Troubleshooting tips. If your MFC isn't producing power, check for loose connections. Make sure your salt bridge is wet and making good contact. And try using fresher scraps. Sometimes adding a spoonful of soil can introduce more bacteria and jumpstart the process. If your LED is too dim, try connecting several MFCs in series, just like stacking batteries, to boost the voltage. Here's the real beauty of this project. It's endlessly adaptable. You can experiment with different types of food waste, try other electrode materials, or scale up with bigger containers. Some DIYers have even powered small clocks or radios with their homemade MFCs. And all of this costs a fraction of what you'd spend on solar panels or a backup generator. So why not give it a try? You'll not only reduce your household waste, but also gain a hands-on understanding of a technology that's been quietly powering devices for decades. And who knows, you might even improve on the basic design and discover something new. In the next section, we'll talk about just how much power you can expect from your kitchen scrap generator and how you can take your setup to the next level. Now, let's talk results. You might be wondering, can I really power my whole house with kitchen scraps? The honest answer, not quite. At least, not with a single homemade microbial fuel cell. A basic setup like the one we just built typically produces a small but steady trickle of electricity, usually in the range of 0.3 to 0.7 volts and a few microamps to milliamps of current. That's enough to light a small LED, run a digital clock, or power a low-energy sensor. It's not going to run your fridge or charge your laptop, but it's a real, tangible demonstration of turning waste into watts. But here's where things get interesting. Just like stacking batteries, you can connect multiple MFCs in series or parallel to increase voltage and current. Some DIYers have built arrays of 10, 20, or even 50 cells to power larger devices or charge small batteries. The more cells you build, the more energy you can harvest without spending a dime on fuel or worrying about rising utility bills. It's free energy in the truest sense, pulled from scraps that would otherwise rot in the trash. And while the output may seem modest compared to the grid, the real value is in the independence and knowledge you gain. Every bit of power you generate yourself is a step away from dependence on centralized systems. In the next section, we'll explore how this simple technology can become a cornerstone of a broader self-sufficiency strategy. If turning kitchen scraps into electricity is so simple and effective, why isn't every household running a microbial fuel cell? The answer comes down to a mix of awareness, inertia, and education. Most people have simply never heard of this technology. It's rarely mentioned in school science classes, and you won't see it featured in glossy ads from big energy companies. Why? Because it doesn't fit the business model of selling you more power or expensive equipment. There's little incentive for industries or institutions to promote a solution that empowers individuals to generate their own energy for free. On top of that, our culture is built around convenience and quick fixes. Throwing food waste in the trash is easy. Building a DIY generator takes curiosity and a willingness to experiment, traits that aren't always encouraged in a world of plug-and-play solutions. But here's the thing. By watching this video, you're already ahead of the curve. You're part of a savvy minority who sees the hidden potential in everyday things. While most people remain in the dark, you now hold the keys to a technology that could change the way we think about waste and energy forever. Imagine a future where every home, school, and community harnesses the power of waste, not just to reduce garbage, but to generate clean, renewable energy. Microbial fuel cells are just the beginning. As more people experiment and share their results, we could see MFCs scaled up to handle larger volumes of organic waste, or integrated with solar panels, wind turbines, and battery storage for a truly resilient off-grid setup. Citizen scientists and DIYers are already pushing the boundaries, testing new materials, and finding creative ways to boost efficiency. This is more than a science project. It's the start of a movement. By building your own kitchen scrap generator, you're joining a growing community of early adopters who refuse to wait for permission or perfect conditions. You're proving that energy independence isn't just for corporations or governments. It's for anyone with curiosity and a bit of ingenuity. So, if you try this project, share your results in the comments. What worked? What didn't? Your story could inspire someone else to take the leap. Together, we're lighting the way toward a future where energy is local, sustainable, and truly in our own hands. We've covered a lot today. You now know how everyday food waste holds hidden electrical potential, how microbial fuel cells capture that energy, and exactly how to build your own generator for just a few dollars. The science is real, the materials are simple, and the independence is yours for the taking. But knowledge alone changes nothing. Action does. I'm challenging you to grab those containers, wire up your first cell, and actually try this project. Don't just watch, build. Document your voltage readings, troubleshoot your setup, and share your results in the comments below. I've also dropped direct links to detailed schematics, active community forums, and beginner guides in the description, so you never have to figure it out completely alone. Here's the hard truth. Every single day you wait, you're literally throwing away free energy. Your kitchen scraps keep rotting in landfills while your utility bills keep climbing every single month. You can keep playing by the old rules, or you can start generating your own power right now. The choice is yours, but the window to get ahead of the curve won't stay open forever. If you found this useful, hit subscribe right now and share it with someone who values self-reliance. Next week, we're diving into another forgotten breakthrough: how to harvest atmospheric moisture for clean drinking water using nothing but simple physics and recycled parts. You absolutely will not want to miss it. Stay curious, stay fiercely independent, and I'll see you in the next one.